Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your hostess, femininity coach, and author of the Crimson Cure. And this is my perspective. Today we're going to have a great conversation with Tommy Sotomayor. I want everybody to welcome him to the channel. Most of you are likely familiar with Tommy. Tommy is an OG in the podcasting space. I hope he don't mind me saying that about him, because I mean that in the most respectful way. Before it was a bag, before podcasting became the next wave, it was Tommy Sotomayor. I think I probably started watching you, I want to say in 2014 or 15. I'm not sure exactly, somewhere in that, along that timeline. And I found your podcast interesting because it just seemed, at the time, it didn't stun me out, but I was like, oh, somebody's talking about this stuff now. Somebody's talking about the condition of not only the Black community from the male point of view, but men's experiences with women, specifically Black women in the community. So you've been here a long time in the social media space, YouTube, and now your channel on Rumble, I think it is. You can put your link in the chat, and anybody who wants to go to Rumble and subscribe there to his channel, please feel free, so that his link shows up in the chat room. I want everybody to be able to find him later after this. That's what I'm saying, CAC. He the OG right in the space. Whether you've ever liked him or not is irrelevant. He's still an OG.
I appreciate that. Well, one of the things that I try my best be is honest. And in the process of speaking, when I started the show, that was all it was about, was just trying to say what I thought, what I seen, and what I heard. And one of the best places for people to just find me is just go to TommySotomayor.com, or the link that's right there. It's already, you have it on the screen there for me. TJSKOC.com. They're both sending you to the same place. I never thought that the things I was saying, though, would cause a problem. So that was always the issue. Like, even now, you got people who have stalked me for years. I think there's a woman there's a few today on my Twitter who I blocked. This one woman 5 times. She had 5 different accounts. How do you have your main account only have 100 followers, and you end up having 5 more? That means that you irritate people that much that you're already ready to back up.
That's crazy work. I don't think anybody that was listening to you, especially in the early days, or who was resonating with you and what you were saying, thought that it would blow up, not just you specifically in your channel, because we got to thank Tommy for putting certain words in the lexicon. Hair-hatted hooligans, the whole song. Like, he had a whole song for it. A whole song for that. They got real mad about the hair hat deal. They was mad with you about that hair hat time. They was mad with you now. They said, now you're not going to keep talking crazy about these wigs.
I never even, it's like, and people kept saying, I think one of the shocking things is we don't realize that we say a lot of things that are racist towards ourselves. Like somebody told me, your mama Black, you got aunts that's Black, you act like weave ain't a part of the culture. And I'm thinking, so you're saying that Black women cannot survive without this? And then when they were burning down those stores, I still remember that Black woman getting out there and said, we need this store. We need to go get our medicine. Then she said, we need our weave.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh my goodness, this is a thing that they love so much that they're willing to fight people over it. But at first they used to claim, well, we only do it because y'all black men like women who have hair like that. Well, as soon as black men said they didn't, they said, get out of women's conversations. You gay if you're talking about their hair. And I'm like, so you didn't want our opinion.
Right. Didn't want the opinion. And I remember the incident that you're referring to. And this is going to tie into the whole accountability conversation that we're about to have, because so much of the pushback that you received at the height of it, right? And I'm not saying you don't receive pushback now still. The pushback that Kevin Samuels received at the height of his podcast, the pushback that I have received and continue to receive, and so many others. I'm not going to go down the line of naming everybody, but in my opinion, it's rooted in a couple of different pathologies. But since we're talking about accountability, I'm going to focus on that, because I think that has been the biggest obstacle, which has prolonged this conversation that started 15 years ago online, 10, 15 years ago online. Black men got online and said, we tired, boss. We tired, boss. And instead of black women, and I can understand, not agree, but understand wait a minute, because just like Sister Shahrazad Ali said almost more than 30 years ago, no one has ever examined the black woman as we have examined the ills and the dysfunctions of black men.
Very true.
And when it was time for black women to start being called to the carpet about various different behaviors, things of that nature, I can understand the jarring nature of it, but what I never understood and what I'm rather disappointed in is the continued denial, which is rooted in the lack of accountability.
Why do you think that is, though? Why do you think
I was just going to ask you? Don't be jumping the gun.
you just delivered that so well. So I was like, hey, I'm going to let you go on. I'm up here listening.
So we're gonna let you handle that question first, and then I'll give my answer. Why do you think, in general, women in general, but black women specifically, have such a difficult time with accountability?
Well, I think, just like Shahrazad Ali said, they haven't had to. As a matter of fact, they've had it wiped under the rug. There was a story somebody sent me today. They wanted me to do it outside of Chicago. A black man and a black woman robbed an Uber driver at gunpoint. They were caught, tried, sentenced. The black man got 8 years in jail. The black woman got probation. They both did the same thing. There's not one woman that I've seen anywhere say, this is not fair. This is not cool. This is wrong. We're the same as men. If you're going to give him 8 years, give us 8 years. You will never see a woman do this, because women like what they get. They lie and claim that they want equality. It's a lie. They want superiority. And black women, more than anyone, I saw that no one had to say, if this had been a white woman that was with that black man and the same story came out, what do you think you would have seen online? That's what they get for being with that white woman. They treat the white, they did the same thing to Emmett Till. They would say everything about how that was unfair because that woman was white. But because that woman is black, everybody's quiet. It's the same thing that happens when a black celebrity marries a black woman or dates a black woman and she falsely accuses him, or she takes half of his money in divorce. Nobody ever points out how messed up it is that she does it. Let a white woman do it. It's all, that's what you get. Black women are able to talk about white women, everybody else. Call a white woman a white bitch. Let a white woman call her one back, not even to start, just in retaliation. She'll say that white woman was racist. Everybody will try to ruin that white woman's life. She can't get a job anymore. because of what she said. So who are Black women accountable to? They're not accountable to their men because they go around every day calling their men sassy. They go around every day. If you say something they don't like, they'll call you gay when their best friend is gay. They will call you a deadbeat, but then argue for the right to be able to have abortions. Also for the right to be able to drop their kid off at a hospital, fire station, any of these things. So where is their accountability if they're not held accountable? I asked the one about the STD rates. She told me the reason why Black women STD rates is so high is because you Negroes be out here sleeping with men and lying and saying you straight. I said, well, hold on a minute. Even if that's the case, why aren't you doing something as simple as testing the men you're sleeping with? Or how about making the men wear a condom since it's that prevalent? Why is it that you have no part to play in the fact that your house is dirty? And it is because these women have never been held accountable for anything they do, which is why you can see them now walking outside with them Jiffy Pop bags on in the middle of the day in pajamas. They literally are doing what a child does. And I'll wrap it up with this. A lot of times children act up because they want structure. They want someone to give them structure. And when people don't, they go farther and they go farther. Because the Bible even teaches you love is in the correction. If someone refuses to correct you, they don't love you.
You went into a couple of different points that I had. I told you stop jumping the gun now.
Yeah, my bad. I'm a talker.
No. That's good because it just leads us into other parts of the conversation. But I want to try to keep my thoughts together because I can go all over the place myself. But I want to come back to the correction being something that comes out of love rather than something that comes out of hatred, or as it is called whenever you do call Black women to the carpet, because I get it too, bashing. The one thing that I try to tell sometimes the guys is like, just because I'm a woman, that doesn't mean I don't get the pushback just because I'm a female. That me being a woman doesn't help. That actually hurts the situation because now I got to get called a mammy and I got to get called a pick me and I got to get called all of these negative terms. And I said Black women are the only women that have a negative term for women who want to be feminine and women who, don't want to participate in what I call the boneyard, because I use hyenas and lionesses as an analogy between feminist-minded women and women who fought that programming, because it is a programming. We get it as soon as we're born. In this society, it's in the school, it's in the media, it's everywhere. And if you're a woman, and really a man too, it just manifests differently. But if you're a woman, you have to actively realize that I'm being programmed, and then I got to deprogram from the feminism and all of its trappings, so that I can think properly. Because I don't know how much, again, you're familiar with me or not, but I'm an anti-feminist channel. I don't like feminism at all, from its root to its current manifestation. I speak heavily against it consistently, and I've been doing that for years. Me too, before it was a bag involved, before this was popular or money. But I digress. Coming back to the point of correction being something that is done out of love rather than out of bashing. And then I'll answer the question, why do I think women have such a hard time with accountability? My main reason that I think women have such a difficult time with accountability is fear of being wrong and the need to be right. It's twofold. They fear being wrong and they have to be right. They have to be right. And to kind of go a couple of layers deeper than that, it's a combo. It's not one or the other, it's both. Because in order to be corrected or to be in a position to have been corrected, that means that you're wrong. That you are in a position where there's something happening that's incorrect. Whether it's your behavior, whether it's a single incident or a pattern of behavior, it doesn't matter. Somewhere along the line, you're wrong because someone had to come and correct or point out to you that this behavior, this mindset, this whatever you're doing, saying, what have you, is dysfunctional. It's not normal. It's not giving you good outcomes. And this is why. You need to change your mindset. You need to change your pattern of behavior, and you can get a different outcome, right? And because correction indicates you were wrong. Women don't want to be seen. Now, just walk with me. Women don't want to be seen as bad people. We don't like that collectively, myself included. We don't like that. We don't like being seen and regarded as evil, bad people. The catch here, though, is that women who avoid accountability and therefore growth end up doing everything that gets them the label of being a bad person. Because you don't grow, you don't take any correction from any source. So whether the men say it, whether it's strange men or men in their lives, right? Because some of the wildest feminists got daddies. And I be trying to figure out what went wrong there. Like, what was going on in your house that you got a whole daddy that you speak highly of, and then you will come out and be a whole feminist or whatever. And so that's pretty much how I see that. The combination of the fear of being wrong, the need to be right, because those two things work together, and not wanting to be a bad person and ending up doing everything to be a bad person.
Ended up doing all things that bad people do. But when you redefine things, that's what you have to realize is what's going on, even when you talked about feminism. Once you start redefining things, you can redefine bad behavior and make it sound good. We have several words that have been redefined, and now people like bitch, bad bitch, thug. We have a lot of words that were redefined as good things. I know I get called a lot, a coon, a lot. I get called a coon. Right now, and I always wondered. I said, why is it that y'all don't call the drug dealer, the pimp, the gangster? None of those guys are coons, and they are specifically against blacks. They are specifically doing things and actively doing things to harm blacks. We have turned anything that would be good into something bad, and anything bad into something good. And if you can convince people of these words, I agree with you. They have a desire to want to do good. So if people have a desire to want to do good, just turn the bad thing and tell them it's good. Women have done this. They turn a pick me into a bad word. And I want y'all to think about that. I've been explaining it to a lot of people. And every time I say it, they're like, never thought of it that way. If a woman is wanting to be chosen, throughout history, a woman wanted to be picked. If you're a woman and you want a husband, then you got to have a man that picks you as his wife. If you are looking for a job, is it wrong to be a pick me to get a job? Is it wrong to be a pick me if I'm playing 5-on-5 pickup basketball and they pick me? Anybody that wants to be a part of something tends to want to be picked. We turn that into a bad word. That a woman that wants to be chosen by a man is a pick me. So what should she be then? Anytime you say that one thing is good, then you need to tell me that the bad part about it. So if being or the bad, then tell me the good. So if she saying she wants to be picked is a bad thing, what's the opposite? She doesn't want to be picked. She's difficult. We've turned all of these things into pluses. There's a woman named Dr. Bryant on Twitter. I was just introduced to her. She said the reason black women find it so hard to find a man is because of their collective bossness. I said, surely she's going to explain what bossness means. Oh, and she did. because every black woman is apparently educated and has a great job and makes more money than men. And I read in the comment section, they all said, yep, girl, you talking about my life. So statistics show that's not true.
Right.
But yet
Statistically,
everybody agreed that they have a hard time finding men because they make more money than them. And so I was dumb enough to click on some of the profiles. Many of the profiles had booking information and OnlyFans.
Right. Which presents another issue as well. The infiltration of horror culture and the transactional culture into mainstream. This is what women should be. I take particular exception to that. I speak on that all the time. That there used to be a time where whores and wives occupied different spaces.
Yes.
And that was on purpose. Okay, because the wives did not want to be associated with whores, and the whores knew that they could not be associated with wives. And so, and on top of that, historically, the whore has always been the lowest, on the lowest rung of society for a woman. Whoredom was not anything to be praised. It was the last resort of a woman who didn't have any family, or she had no way to make it, to eat, to do anything in society at all. And so, and this transcended culture and time frame, right? And the prostitute, the woman that ended up in the brothel, was there as a last resort. This is the place she could lay her head. This is a place she could get a warm meal. This is a place, and unfortunately, she had to use her body to do that. She had to give her body to any paying customer who came to ask for her. And that was the transaction. But she knew that this was not a lofty place in society. It was never a lofty thing for a woman to have to do that. That was low. Women knew that. Men knew that. Everybody knew that. Now, she occupied her space, but she knew I'm not a wife, and I'm never going to have that level of respect. Even if the men are married, they don't look at me the way they look at her. It's not the same. I'm not the same. And that was just understood. Now we've got this super infiltration, because going back to the example that you brought up with that individual, Ms. Bryant.
Oh, you know her.
Bryant. I know of her. I've done a couple of different shows or videos about, just recently when she was on Paul Pierce, like, girl, bye.
Right.
So we're not doing this, girl. You've been spinning the block for 5, girl. Don't even get me started on that foolish man. But anyways, let me try to keep my mind straight. Just going back to the example that you made, our bossness, and then when you went to look at those profiles, so many of them were OnlyFans girls. These are prostitutes. And they can try to dress that up and say they're models. I don't cut the crap. Any woman that sells her sex, or the image of her sex, or the fantasy of her sex, is in some way prostituting and is a sex worker. I don't care if she don't never let a man touch her. If you get on that pole and you strip naked and you shimmy up and down and they make it rain, you're whoring. You're whoring. I don't care if you're a virgin. It's whoring, because you can't say, if you got 2 or 3 men that you got to call to help you pay your rent and your light bill, that's also whoring. And I say that on my channel all the time. We have to start calling a spade, and that is the thing that's at the core of accountability. Calling a thing, and then owning that thing.
Yes.
When I was coming through a lot of trauma, childhood trauma, I had a lot of baggage from my childhood. and it persisted into my adulthood. You know, I got married young. I was married for like 20 years. He passed away. A few years after that, maybe I want to say 6 years after that, I'm married again now. But my first marriage, I had a lot. I had a lot of problems. At the core, I believed I was a good person. And I still think I was a good person, but I was not always behaving well. My responses to some of the things that my husband would do at that time or correct me at that time, you know, I didn't take well to that. We didn't argue and fight and curse each other out. I wasn't that type of person, but I would be like, I would cry and I would be like, no, you know what I'm saying? All because I understood, or at least I thought I understood at that time. My thought pattern was, he sees me as a bad person. I couldn't make the separation until later, until I started healing for real. That just because he's correcting a behavior doesn't mean he thinks I'm bad. He thinks the behavior is bad. That's what he's correcting. He's not saying I'm a horrible person. I don't think he would have married a horrible person if he thought I was a horrible person. However, that doesn't mean that the things that I'm doing don't need to be called out. And he did them, and I'm thankful to him for it, because those instances helped me to take accountability for my responses, for my reactions, for having emotional control, or at that time a lack thereof. So just outbursts and things of that nature. No, my thing was crying. I'm a crybaby. I'm not an arguer like that. Like, I'm not gonna stand toe to toe with my man and be like, you, I don't do that, but I will cry. I was a big time cry. Like, I'll break down and cry at the drop of a hat. You ain't got to say much to me. You know what I'm saying? Especially somebody that I care about, and I cared how he perceived me.
Yep.
And so because I cared how he perceived me, and it seemed as if he was perceiving me badly, I had an ardent desire to change it. And not just for him, but for me. I wanted to be a better person, because I realized you're not responding properly to normal things. Like, your responses and reactions are not normal. And just to extrapolate that and take that out of my personal life, that's the problem that we're seeing with women. What we've come to understand, and I want you to speak on this point too, Tommy, is that they don't care in general how Black men see them and perceive them. Would you agree with that? What you got to say on that? Because I talked a long time. I'm sorry.
No, I like listen to you. Listen, I agree with it 1,000%. People know I've been talking about this for years, because if they did care, we'd go back to what I was talking about with the weave. If they cared how they were perceived, they wouldn't call you sassy when you say something about what's wrong with them. They wouldn't say, like, I had a woman tell me yesterday, she said, what kind of man are you to sit here and argue with a woman? I said, what kind of woman is she to sit here and argue with a man? So it was okay for her to, it's like, but they do these things. Like, a woman can slap the hell out of a man. Man got to keep his hands to himself. What you're teaching is that men have to have what you talked about, which was they have to have control. They have to have emotional control. They have to have physical control, which again allows a woman to not have control over herself. And if you do that with a woman, same if you do it with a child, because I always describe women as just grown children. Sorry, this is the way I view them. They act like children. They want trinkets like a child. They want to be praised like a child. My daughter gave me this drawing when she was in kindergarten, and I don't know what the hell was on that drawing, but she was happy because I said, "Oh, it's so cute. I'm gonna put it on my refrigerator." And she got old. She said, "That is ugly, Daddy." She saw that she wasn't good at it.
Like, you know what, you gaslit me. I'm glad you did it, but you gaslit me though at that time. But we good, we cool.
I was dying when she said it though, and she said, "That is horrible." She looked at her own painting, was like, "Ooh." But the thing is, a lot of women are like that. You have to constantly give them praise in order to get things going. But with men, if you tell us what's wrong, we're actually happier that way because we can fix it. You tell me what's wrong, I can fix it. You give me generalities, then I can't generality finish it. I can't fix it. I can't make it right. So we're going to keep going over the same damn place, the same issues. Black women don't respect what black men think because they don't think they have to. You watch Eve. You watch Serena Williams. You watch Venus Williams. You watch any of these people. When they get them a white man, you don't see how they change their attitude. You don't see how they change their pattern of speech. You don't see how even black girls, when they decide they want to approach a white man, they change the way they talk. They don't walk up to them and get them told. When you watch a white man walk up on a black woman in the streets, she don't turn around, look at him like he crazy, look him up and down, look at his feet, and think of the first thing she can say to insult him because she's not attracted. She doesn't do that to him. Why not? Because they don't respect black men, but they do respect white men and what white men think. Why do you think if a black man says, I only date black women, they said he's a down brother? But if a white man says he only dates white women, he's a racist. If a black man says he only dates white women, he is sellout. If a white man says he only dates black women, he's cool. How is it? Why don't they say he hate his mama? Why don't every black woman who sees a white man that says I only date black women, why isn't that the first words out of her mouth is he hate his mama? Well, how can he not find attraction in white women when his mama's white? But your black self, they'll tell you that. Why will they talk to you that way? Why do they always find a problem with you? Why is it they always call you gay when they get mad at you? Because they don't respect you. And when a person doesn't respect you, they don't care what you think. You remember what you said? That love you had for your husband would make you cry when you thought you disappointed him. Anybody with children, tell me the difference between your children that respect you versus the ones that don't. The ones that respect you, you never have to raise your hand to them. If you raise your voice to them, it hurts them. If you say I'm disappointed, they cry. The other ones, you can tell them you're disappointed. If they don't respect you, they don't care. They don't care what grades they bring home. They don't care what man they bring home. They don't care what woman they bring home because they don't respect you. Respect makes a person. I remember my grandmother said, and I'll wrap it up with this. She talked about respect. I quote my grandmother a lot. My grandmother talked about what respect was. And she would say things that were a bit confusing to me as a kid, because if you tell a kid you're not supposed to lie, I heard my grandmother say sometimes the respect is in the lie. And I was like, wait, what? She went on to explain. She said, there are people who you see walking around that are outside when the pastor's out there. When the pastor walks by, even if they have alcohol or something to smoke, what do? She said, they hide it, don't they? Why? Because they respect him and what he does. She said things got bad when they stopped respecting seeing the pastor walk by and they start offering the pastor something to drink or something to smoke and kept cussing around him and the old ladies. Sometimes the respect was in the lie. We knew you weren't perfect, but you at least tried to pretend for those who you respect.
That's true. And on that note, Mr. Tommy, we're going to go to a commercial break. I'm going to read these super chats, and then we're going to get back to the conversation. So after these messages, we'll be right back. You know I had to do it because the link is pinned to the top of the chat, ashkicking.com. If you're trying to keep your skin looking and feeling its absolute best, then you need this body butter that's right on the screen. And they have more than body butter. They have so many different personal care items, from deodorant to lip balm to different types of moisturizers and even things for your home fragrance and the ambiance. So you definitely want to go to ashkicking.com. Once again, the link is pinned to the top of the chat. If this is going to be your first order, then please take advantage of the 10% discount using the promo code Crimson at checkout. I owe you guys a bam, 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 bam. You got to hit the like button. Bam, bam. You got to, and I told you don't laugh at me, right?
I'm smiling.
I'm just messing with you.
I am smiling because I like somebody who enjoys. I mean, the way you come across to me, to be perfectly honest. People ask me this, I'm gonna need you to hook up with her. She's good. She's good. So that's why I reached out to you. He was like, who is this? Is this really tough?
Because I get so many, and I was trying not to offend you, right? But I get so many fake emails, fake company, like the company be real, but the email be fake. Like Pepsi Cola is not calling me. Stop it with no capital letters in the body of it and the punctuation bad. Stop it now. So that's why I had to ask you. I'm like, is this really Tommy? Because if it ain't, you need to really get up out my inbox for real. Like, I'm gonna block you for real. Like, stop playing. Like, and the next time I see him on the panel, I'm gonna tell him somebody faking. But no, it was you. So I appreciated that you weren't like, wait a minute, this Tommy, like, you know.
I know how it is. I always just reach out to people again. Like if my audience tells me that they want me to either bring someone on or whatever, I go do it for them. I'm like, I'm here for them in essence. And I listen to the way that you talk to your audience like you give a crap. And it's infectious to see that you're smiling, you're trying to give them their money's worth and their time's worth, because time is money. As a matter of fact, I can give you my money, I can make that back. If I give you my time, I can't make that back. Done. So, and the fact that you seem happy, you don't know how many times I've been talking to people and it seems like they hate the job that they do. And no offense, but I see that a lot in Black women. Black women will be working in customer service positions, and anybody will tell you the worst customer service they get, they don't say it's from Black men. They say it's from Black women.
It is Black women, because I hate to see, because she already got a no in her mouth. But that's why. So let me get to these super chats. Thank you, Nomadic Criers. I'm a big fan of Tommy since 2009. Hair-headed hooligans acting like a fool again. Wherever there are more than 3, I will not be. The Terminatrix 1000. Thank you so much for your super chat. Thank you, Stefan. Said Tommy is the original Captain America of the Black Manosphere. He got the conversation started. Shout out to Soto Nation. Love you, brother. Thank you, Nomadic Crier. Said everyone put your favorite Tommy Sotomayor quote in the chat. Thank you so much. Thank you, Annie. So I love Tommy. I'm excited about this discussion and collaboration. Thank you. I'm going to get back to the biggest ones in just a second. Let me read the other ones first. Jay, thank you for your super sticker. I appreciate it. Thank you, Bruce Owen Wayne, aka Dusty King, said Islam is right about women. Thank you, Philip, for your contribution as well. Thank you, Miss Maya, for your super sticker. Thank you, Timothy, for your super sticker. Thank you, Nuruddin. Say, hey, Miss Kendra, Tommy is right, because when I tried to approach some Black women, was called a loser, but some Latinas and white women are interested in me. I was called a race traitor on my birthday. And last but certainly not least, thank you so much, Elder Ben. So it'll be interesting to hear it from a Black man's perspective. Thank you so much.
And I would have put my thing in your comment section, but it won't let me. Whenever you try to put a website, it won't let you do it.
Because probably because you're not a mod. But one of the mods, take his website is right here, the tjskoc.com. Please
or just put TommySotomayor.com
or TommySotomayor.com. Please, one of my mods, please do that.
But I let me tell you something. You've made my day. Just a lot of the stuff and then people writing what they remember me saying. I don't think people understand this, especially the crap I've went through. Hell, you have a couple of people in your comment section who haven't given you a dime, but have gone out of their way to try to get me to respond to them. One of them has been a stalker of mine over 10 years. Name is Cole Gates. Everywhere where you see me, Cole Gates will be there. And Cole Gates will just write the most negative things. Cole Gates. Now imagine you hate somebody because of what they say when you're a grown man or woman. Because the truth is, if you don't like what I say, you can go say the opposite. I want all of you black women, when y'all think of these men who are protecting y'all, just think of it this way. How are they protecting y'all from my words? By using words towards me. So if I'm saying things about what I see in general, if they call me ugly, black, short, broke, if they call me any of these things, how does that protect you? But they have convinced you that you dissing, and that's where we are, like the young man said in the comment section. We don't believe in having the actual discussion, because if you notice, I'm open to having discussions with anyone, and people are afraid to talk to me. Black people have made it to where we've dumbed down each other and each other's speech, to where if we don't like what someone says or what someone does, we just call it a name. But we rarely sympathize and empathize with people enough to see them as people and find out why. Find out what made this person say this. Like Crimson Cure said, what made her where she was and what made her change to be what she is. If she didn't understand where she was, she would never be able to be where she is. And that's where making the person you have a problem with, talk to them, see what they say, see why they do it. You may be able to break them down and find out that the reason he's saying this is because he can't get no woman and he really wanted one bad. You may find out that the reason she's doing this is because her daddy molested her. You have no idea. You can have your opinion, but why not speak to people? We've lost that as black people because we used to value speaking to each other.
We did. And then now we've got this whole cancel culture thing going on, and we cancel people that we don't like. And some people do need to be canceled, but it always seemed like we don't cancel the right people, because we were supposed to be canceling Sexy Red, but we didn't do that. But I digress.
I believe we cancel them by turning away from them, though. Like, if you think about it, I honestly don't believe we should stop Sexy Red from being able to produce the content. If you stop Sexy Red from being able to produce results, that's the biggest killer of all.
Okay. No, I get what you're saying. I can see that. First, I want to thank you because I appreciate your words towards me. I appreciate that sentiment. We don't like to talk to one another. I had some pushback. You bringing Tommy on, that's because I can talk to people as well. I know how to talk to people. Tommy ain't gonna talk stupid with me because I'm not gonna talk stupid with him. So I've seen enough of you to know how to have an intelligent conversation. Now, if somebody want to get stupid and petty, then we can go down that road. But
yeah, like I believe in people that can ask me anything. I don't mind answering it. I can have a debate, but we never have to get to the point where we're name calling each other, because again, I'm old. Mm-hmm. We could have our thoughts about so-and-so, but when you got on the playground, you weren't going to say that to so-and-so's face, because it's going to stop being a discussion. It's going to start being a fight. So you didn't say that. You didn't, because I'm old too. And you don't say that unless you're ready to fight. You ready for the smoke. When you hit the playground and you step to somebody's face, and we got to be ready to throw hands at that point, because we're not talking about it. Yes.
Because you done already stepped to me, or I done already stepped to you. Done called your mama. We done stood shoulder to shoulder. Remember doing that? So we done already did all that. So now we got to
once I say yo mama, my hands is ready to come up because I know you ready to swing. I'm not saying this and being surprised at your response. And that's what we have today. The internet has just allowed people to speak to people any kind of way and have no repercussions. When we came up, I know I look way older than you, but once you said you're old too. When we came up though, you had to be about whatever it was you were saying, or you say it.
Yep, and you couldn't be scary. You was gonna get whooped. Be scary if you want to. You still gonna get whooped. That's gonna stop you from getting whooped.
And when you came home whooped, all your grandmama them did was go back and tell you, hey, you got your ass whooped. Either you go back and fight or you take it.
Right. You either take that whooping or you go back. You mad about it? Go back out there.
Yep.
Go ahead on
It
back
bother
out
you
there.
that much, yeah. If it
Because
bother you
I
that much, he's still out there.
definitely grew
He's
up in
still
the
out there
era.
playing.
Right. You in the house. You. This you. So, I think just to sort of steer it around, because I had some videos queued up. I don't even think, what I'm gonna play? I'm gonna play one. And the theme of the video, I don't know if I necessarily just want to talk about what's happening in the video. We can. But the theme of the videos that I was going to pick out was, of course, lack of accountability. Now, this is a new story came out. I'm pretty sure you heard or seen this one or heard of it. Is this the one? No, this the one. Woman claims she was denied boarding Spirit Airlines. When Spirit tell you to go ahead on somewhere about your business, you got to stop and take inventory of your life, because Spirit, them tickets is $1.99.
They charge you for everything. If you want oxygen, it's a fee.
Right.
They got quarter slots in the bathroom.
Okay. Like, do you want to blink 5 times or 10 times during this flight? Which one? I have never flown Spirit, and hope to God that I never am in a position where I have to, because I don't trust them.
I'd rather walk before I fly Spirit.
You got I'll be on the back of a donkey. We be worse than Jesus, because I'll be on a donkey. But this right here, y'all.
Regular shorts. This is how I walk through the airport. This is how I walk through the airport with these shorts on. With my robe. This is exactly how I have my clothes.
Your boarding pass, please.
As Tanasia Grayer approached the Spirit ticket counter, tensions quickly grew. She was just told she wouldn't be allowed on her flight back to Chicago.
I'm right here. You need to get out my face. You don't have to address me like that. You can say whatever you need to say from right there. You don't have to get in my face.
You don't get to tell me what to do.
And you don't get to tell me what to do.
Grayer says it all started over this outfit.
Now, I'm just going to pause it right here. We just going to pause for a moment. I want everybody to see. Now, she won't turn around
At all.
because we know what is in the back of that outfit, that so-called outfit. Now, you're standing there. Before I really get into her standing there looking like SpongeBob, how you getting on a Spirit flight with a pair of drawers but a Versace robe? If you don't get all the way up out of here, how you get a Versace robe? I don't know if I even need to I'm sorry.
No, I just say, go ahead.
Finish the rest of that video, because we know what it was. She was getting smart with them Spirit Airline people, and they told her she couldn't get on that flight with them drawers on. Okay, you standing there looking like SpongeBob SquarePants, and you cannot get on this flight, okay, with your best SquarePants booty. Okay, you should have had pants on. And then what is wrong? What is wrong? Black women, I need to speak to you for just a moment. What is wrong, beloved? Look, I'm going to take this full screen for a second, Tommy. I'll be right back. What's wrong with y'all? Huh? Why you want to be somewhere naked and afraid? Stop laughing, Matt. Why you want to be somewhere naked and afraid? You go places and you don't have no clothes on. You got a robe. I understand being comfortable when you fly, but why not have a comfortable pair of jeans that you travel in, or a comfortable sweatshirt or t-shirt or something that you travel in, or something like that. Whenever I travel, I got 1 or 2 like little dresses that I like to wear, and I put that on. It's a long dress, and I put my thing, and I'm comfortable. That way, if it's a few hours, I ain't got nothing pinching. It ain't tight. It ain't this. It ain't that. I'm comfortable, but yet I'm presentable. I'm not in my house attire. I'm not in pajamas. I'm not in a bonnet. Y'all will call yourself don't like my hijab. You got a bonnet on, beloved. Please don't tick me off today.
Listen,
I don't get it. Why you got to be naked and afraid every day?
I have a saying, and it's called WASP. Don't mean to offend you or anybody else. I speak in general. I don't speak specifically. So if it doesn't fit, that's fine. Black women don't get mad when people say black women got nice bodies when they ass don't have a nice body. They don't say not all. So don't get mad when I say WASP. When I say WASP, it means women are stupid people. As I told you earlier, that women act like children. Children push boundaries. There is no reason you don't see, if this is the case, why don't you see a bunch of men running around doing the same thing, having the same problems? We black just like black women. Why is it we don't have these problems of getting kicked the fuck out of everywhere we go? Excuse my French. Getting kicked out of everywhere we go. Why we don't have the problem of we got to get on the plane with a robe on or our night clothes on or our slippers on? Why is it that it's just you? It ain't black men having that problem. It's just you. It's just you always going to clubs hollering they didn't want you in because you dark skinned. You don't hear no black man ever saying this ever in history. You don't hear no black man having none of these problems. This woman and a lot of these women wake up every day to get online looking to have somebody to argue with, to get in real life looking for somebody to argue with. They do things the most difficult way. Well, look at how many videos they show you of simple arrest, simple pullover asking you for your license. I ain't giving you nothing. You ain't got to do nothing. They turn literally, I'm about to give you a ticket to a felony. Simply because if somebody put their camera out, I'm recording you. Everything is an incident for them. There is no reason a woman should go to an airport in that big robe dragging the ground. That is common sense. You wouldn't do that. But then why do you need the robe on, but underneath the robe, you got on skin-tight clothes? What's the purpose? Most people who fly, and if you fly a lot, and anybody will tell you this, because I fly a lot, the one thing you want to fly with is the most comfortable thing. A lot of people like to wear sweatpants, as a matter of fact, because, you know, when you get off that plane, if you're on a plane, I'm going straight to the hotel or wherever I'm going to shower because I don't want to smell like them people or that plane. These are things that I've had to tell women, Crimson, that come to my house. I've had to tell them, oh, you don't want to take a shower? You've been on a 3-4 hour flight. Don't you want to take a shower? No, I'm good. So you're just your funky self just been everywhere and you just want to stay funky. These are weird things that you have to tell the people today because what they see is an opportunity to be a fly in the ointment. I've called a lot of them, and they hate when I say this, they're human gnats. They literally just try to fly around you to get you to swat at them. I think when you say black women, what's wrong with you? And I land here. I think that a lot of them believe that the only way they can get attention is to be by being irritants. Because if you watch almost everything, why would you go inside of a family while they're at a restaurant, have a camera set up, and start twerking in front of a mother, a husband, and her children? Why would you do this? No other race does this. But then they'll tell me I hate myself. But I'm telling them, what did the video the other day? Girl had a bonnet on with the wig on top of it.
Not a wig on top of the bonnet. You sitting there lying through your ever-loving teeth. Why would you?
I'm just sitting there.
Not a wig on top of the bonnet.
I did not understand this.
Not under the bonnet, Tommy.
There was another woman that walked outside and she had a pair of drawers over her head. Men's the boxer shorts tied on her head. And you got to ask yourself, what makes people do this shit? The girl who walked through the airport that knows she was straight naked. The girl who was twerking by everything. All of these people, it seems like black women believe the only way they can get attention is to be places they don't want to be. You ain't never seen no black man in Italy doing a video at the restaurant talking about they don't want us here. Look how they looking at us because we black. Who do you see doing this? Every country they go to, they got a video showing that people don't want them there. Nobody's more hated than the black man, so why is it that we don't go places and constantly holler about they don't want us there? Because we got enough common sense that if you don't want me there, I'm not going to be there. If it was a club that just wanted light-skinned, half-breed men, you think I'd complain that this club existed? No. Why wouldn't the women who like light skin, half breed be able to go to a club where they ain't got to deal with me? Me up there trying to walk up to them, talking about some high shout and letting holler at you, and her trying to find a nice way to tell me you too dark. Why is that a problem that she wants a man that's 6 feet that makes 6 figures? We never argue these things because we understand personally you have the right to do whatever you want to. Black women seem to always want to invade people's personal space. They like a 80s video game. They're space invaders.
Not space invaders. I'm gonna get you off my channel in 2 minutes. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? We got 2 minutes for you to sit here and act a fool like that.
I apologize.
You silly as the day is long, and I mean that with all respect. But I want to, because we do only got like 1 or 2 minutes, so I'm gonna try not to extend this too far. Back to the women or children, I want to come back to that point and sort of tie that together. A lot of women don't like that comparison, to be compared with children, because, you know, children are children. You know, they children, they're kids. And to a certain extent, I get it, but at the same time, this is yet another aspect of no accountability, but also the lack of accountability is also rooted in delusion, not accepting the reality of things, not accepting the reality of your position as a woman. Feminism has gotten women to not like being women, and to not like the position of women. Whether you want to say the position of women, what the position of women is biblically or religiously, or if you want to talk about it from a biological standpoint, women, one thing that I say on my channel is that when you have boys and girls, boys outgrow the authority of their moms, usually at adolescence, usually at the point where he knows he can physically overpower her. She stops having authority over him. Now, if he still continues to be obedient to her, that'll be out of respect for her. And I've also said that boys don't have a natural respect of girls and women. That's not natural. Boys have to be taught respect for women. And the reason that I say that is because men don't fear women. Generally speaking, there's no fear physically. If we were just together, men don't have a fear, a primal fear of women. So because he doesn't fear her, there's not necessarily a respect there. Fathers teach their boys, respect your mom, respect your sisters. Don't let nobody hurt them. Don't let nobody talk about them. Because he gonna get smart with her, right? Her son gonna test her because you don't have authority anymore. I can take you, mom. You know what I'm saying? I'm 12, 13, 14 years old, and I can take you. And she has, this is one of the functions of fathers. This is one of the things we're missing in our households. She's not supposed to try to overpower him. The thing she's supposed to be able to say, I'm gonna tell your daddy you said it. I'm gonna tell your daddy you said that. Huh? And watch his eyes get big as saucers. No, you tell your daddy that. Tell your daddy what you told me, and see if it's the same consequence. And it's not, because he's going to outgrow the authority of his mom. The daughter, however, does not outgrow the authority of her father. She does not. Because women don't ever outgrow the authority of men. Men have a natural authority that women do not have because of their position as leaders, generally speaking, their position in society as leaders. So since we don't have that natural authority over them, we don't outgrow them. We don't outgrow the need for them. So this is why a girl go from her father's house and she'll go to her husband's house, and she still need the same thing from her husband that she got from her dad. Reassurances, taken care of, corrections, things of that nature. And it's done from a different perspective, obviously, because her husband has a romantic element that's added to that, right? Here's my thing. Women don't like that position because it puts them in their mind in an inferior, low position. And what they haven't understood is that being a woman is not a low position. It's just not the male position. But it shouldn't be the male position. Males have their position in life in general. Women have their position in life in general. We always need men. And no matter how much they claim to be bosses, and because if you was bosses for real, you wouldn't need to talk about, he got to make more than me. Why? I need somebody to lead me. Why? I need somebody that's going to take care of me. Why? Why? Because men don't need the same thing from women that women need from men. It's not the same thing. And there's no shame in it not being the same thing. And that's where women of today get caught up, because they feel shame in we're not men. Men don't need us to feed them. They don't need us to survive. They don't. They need us for other things. Men want us around, but they don't need from us the same thing that we need from them. And women don't like. And I blame the concept of feminism for infecting women with that. Because there was a time where women didn't mind that. Women understood that. And women understood that our places as women were powerful. They just were not men's places. So I'm going to give you the final word, and then we're going to wrap it up.
I'll say this, and I'm going to hurt some feelings. The word penis in me came about, and it's true. Black women are jealous of black men. And this is why they treat us the way they treat us. You have to remember, black women were the ones that were able to marry white men before black men were able to marry white women. Yet who do you see marrying out of their race more than the other? 4 times as much. Black men. So black women have had access to the white man, and they hate when I say this, but it is true. They've had access to the white man since slavery, and yet still can't get that white man who programs you to love you the way that you want him to. Black man walks everywhere in the world, and he is considered a sex symbol, even though he has no power. We don't own no countries. We don't own anything. We're just black men. We walk out of the house looking like we look in our pictures when we were 10 years old, because we got the same damn hair, we got the same damn face, and we ain't got to do nothing but be us. They got a thing called swag that describes black men. What do they have that describes black women? Black women got to add 99 different damn thousand things on themselves just to be considered attractive. And then when they say there are beautiful black women, guess who they show you? Biracials. Every time they say that we got beautiful black women, they show you a biracial. Why do you think that all those black women showed up to go see a show by the name of Scandal? Because a black woman got her a white man, even though the white man was cheating on his white wife. That to them made them seem attractive. See, they would explain it and say, the reason we watch it is because he really loves her more than he loves his wife. Now imagine if black men were watching the damn show because a black president was cheating on his black wife with the white help. Oh, that show would have got canceled after the first episode. Then you saw Meghan Markle. Every black woman got up and said, thank you, Prince Harry, for making a black woman a princess. Black woman? What black woman in your family look like Meghan Markle? And how did this white man make her a princess? Oh, but y'all all got up to watch this stupid-ass fairy tale wedding, didn't you? Why? Why did none of you black men ask yourself, if they love us so much, why they so happy to see a black woman with a white man? Every time they see a black woman with a white man, they cheer for him. You've never heard them call her a sellout. You've never heard them call her a coon. You've never heard them say they're going to boycott her for being with one. As a matter of fact, they love white women so much that a lot of your black dykes got white wives. Somebody tell me I'm lying. Go look. Look how many of them black women that are celebrities that you see that are gay, and look at them got a white wife on their arm because they understand what a prize is. Trophy wife usually ain't them. The only people that value them is us. And they treat us like crap because they don't want us. Let me give you this. You said women should not be competing with men. Black women are the only people on planet Earth that do compete with men. Black women make statements like this: suck my D. Wait a minute, ma'am. You actually do that if you're a female and you're with a man. So why is it that you want to tell somebody to suck your D and you don't have one? Who do you see going around calling people bro all day? Is it white women? Asian women? Nope. Black women. White women used to get a stamp on their back. And what did they call that stamp? A tramp stamp. What did black women start doing? Getting tattoos on their chest, neck, and face. You know, like a man. Black women will speak to you like a man. Black women are quick to call you a B. Black women have become so manly that their voices are deeper than the normal woman. Don't believe me? Listen to any of them. Listen to any of them out there. Sound just as deep. Their voice is just as deep as a dude. So you got this woman who is so happy to be under another woman, twerk, dance, slap a butt, talk to you like a man, to the point of where we got people like Glorilla who sounds like one. Glorilla talks like one. All the black female rappers talk about how they be doing niggas, how they got niggas on the team. They literally talk like the males. They see no value in being a woman, because if they did, they wouldn't insult. Let me tell you again, when they tell you they boss bitches and they love being women, no, they don't. Because as soon as they get mad at you, what do they compare you to? Do they compare you to a woman or a man? They'll call you a bitch. You acting like a hoe. You acting sassy. So they compare you to what they are. Imagine being a black person, and every time I got mad at a white person, I called them a name that they would call a black person. That would be weird. I'm insulting you by calling you me. You know, it's what gay people do when they realize, if you want to find out if a gay person thinks what they do is normal, get into an argument with one of them and watch what they'll call you. They'll call you them. You must be down low, bisexual. You must. Wait a minute, but that's what you are naturally. That's what you said. So how can you insult me? You ain't never heard no rich person insult somebody poor by calling them rich. You never heard a tall person insult somebody short by calling them tall. You never heard a pretty woman insult an ugly woman by calling her pretty. Yet black women will insult a black man by calling him a black woman. That is the problem. They have an envy over you black men, because you black men are able to do something that they don't. You know how they go around and yell how intelligent they are? Guess who still makes more money than them? And we don't go around and get paraded around for it. We don't get patted on the back for it. None of this. You don't hear nobody talking about this black woman needs to save the black community. She needs to give money back to the blacks. You never hear that. Why not? Why is it when a black woman get money, she can go and spend it on whatever she wants? But when a black man get money, he must come back and save the community. Because more is expected of us, and we accept it, and we don't cry about it. And that's what makes us envious, because we don't have to go around talking about let me adjust my crown, the black man this. We don't have to do any of that. We just exist, and people want to be us. We have the whole entire world trying to dress, act, talk, sing, dance like us. And we don't get mad and say, you cultural appropriating us. We don't care that John B was singing black music. We didn't care that Eminem was rapping. We wanted to feature Eminem. We don't go around trying to fight Jokic because he got an MVP. But black women show trying to beat up Caitlin Clark. Black women show get mad that a white woman get braids. Now, I don't mean to offend nobody, but I ain't said nothing that ain't true. The fact that you found more solace in being pseudo men than being actual women is something wrong with you. And you black men need to realize, going back to what we were saying at the beginning, they don't respect you. Because if black women respected black men, they wouldn't care what other men thought about them. They wouldn't be trying to please other men, and they wouldn't go out of their way to celebrate getting one. I actually had a black woman tell me, I know I'm pretty because white men try to date me. I'll leave it there.
Mm-hmm. I call that the Mr. and Mrs. Cartwright syndrome, from The Family That Prays, when she was going after Mr. William Cartwright. He left her where she stood.
You remember the black woman on Girlfriends? She said she would not date the guy because he was too black. Tony, the one that ended up with the white husband, the short white husband that was the simp.
See, I never watched that show. I don't really like the
She
show.
refused to be with a black man in the movie, in the show Scandal. The black woman told the black man, I won't love that hurts. It ain't sweat. This man loved that black woman. She would have rather been the white man's whore than his wife. And this was a show that they watched. They didn't get offended and say, take this off the show. Anybody in your comment section, tell her if I told one lie in this diatribe. Tell them if I said one. I literally never, I have not. These shows should have been canceled if black women respected black men. They would have been mad to see that, but they weren't. They cheered for it.
No, even though I never watched Scandal, I heard enough about it. You know, it's an old show. It don't come on no more. It's finished, but you know, I got the gist of it. You know,
it made that woman rich.
It did. It did. Kerry Washington.
No, the black woman who created it. Somebody say her name. Yes, it made her rich
because she wrote. Didn't she write that and Grey's Anatomy and a couple?
Yes.
She wrote a couple of different things.
It made her rich.
I feel like with those sorts of stories, she did a disservice to her writing ability, because if your writing ability can make you rich like that, you should have put out a different message. And I'm saying that as a writer, because I write, and it's like, whatever, girl. Why would you do that?
She have sold to the? If people in my neighborhood want crack, I can try to sell them celery, but they ain't buying it.
No, I get you.
You're right. My morals should say, do the right thing. And I'm with you on that. Her morals should say do the right thing. But her wallet said do what they want. And she's been around enough black women to
she know what they were celebrating.
Yes.
She knew what they were celebrating. She understood it. Whether she agreed with it or not, she knew what would make her the money.
And that's what's scary. We have so many black folks who are doing what makes us money, not doing what edifies our soul. Because most of the things that edify your soul typically leave you dead. Think about it. The biggest people who were trying to help black people died, and they died in violent ways. Jesus, Malcolm, Martin, Medgar. Anybody that tried to do something, the right thing, the first people who turned on them was our own people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what happened to me. They wanted me off social media, but you can get porn on Twitter. Can't have me on.
You can get corn. I got off of Twitter. I said, no, you're not gonna do me like this, because I don't want to click on here and see that. You know, got that whole thing going on. I couldn't do it. I'm like, no, not even for. And the only reason I was on Twitter is the same reason I'm on Instagram, is just to promote this channel. I don't really do have a lot of different social media presence in terms of making content. All of that is just to sort of direct it back over here or whatever. But Twitter got way out of control. I'm like, nah. Y'all not gonna do this to my eyeballs early in the morning. Get on this app. Y'all acting a fool on this app now. We not doing it.
But again, it's like, if you notice, they went out of their way to say I was the most evil person on earth. And my voice could not be heard on YouTube. Couldn't be heard. But yet you could listen to King Von's music is still up there. We know how he died. FBG Duck's music is still up here getting AdSense. We know how he died. The majority of the Chicago rappers, their music is still up here and they're still getting paid. And we know what they talked about. And yet there are no black folks saying, we need to get this off, like what you just said. Mm-hmm. So why is it they're not trying to kick them off? Mm-hmm. That's when people know what you want. I hate to say you this crack, but I know you want to buy crack, and I got to feed.
I hate to be Nino Brown, but
yes, I hate to take over the corner, but they really want this crack. and I need a place to make it.
Not I hate to be Nino Brown. You is silly. Why is you silly like that? Nah, I'm even gonna act like I didn't know what I signed up for. So let me read the rest of these super chats. Thank you is what it is. Said for the message. Thank you again, Nerdine. Said what made it hurt is they did it in public with no shame, even though they weren't interested. It got to the point where Latinas took me out to the restaurants and embraced me. Thank you, Truth Seekers. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you. Ooh, where was I at? Jimmy says, supporting you for having the conversation. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Thank you, Jamari. So I think actual accountability requires a degree of self-awareness, humility, and honesty. These same women require these attributes from the men in their lives, can't require what you are not. Just to speak to that really quickly, the humility is a big part of the, I don't want to look like a bad person. I had to accept during my, and I hate to say healing journey because the hyenas done stole that and made that a talking point, and I don't like that. But you know, I was healing. I had actual stuff to heal from, not a bunch of bodies. But anyway, humility was a thing, you guys. One of the things that it takes in order to have accountability and take self-accountability is the self-awareness and the acceptance that I am not showing up good. I might be a bad person. I might actually be a bad person. Maybe. And it doesn't have to be absolute. And it doesn't have to be something that you can't change. But I had to put that on the table. I could not leave that off the table. The possibility that you are how you showing up. You may want to think that you're a good person and you do, but you're not, and you may not just be doing people dirty, but you're not showing up well either. You're not showing up in the best version of you. The people that you say you care about the most is not getting the best version of you. They're getting the crap version of you. I'm sorry. Was you going to say something, sweetheart?
No. I'm listening to you. You make, I like you say some really good stuff, and you're talking about basically being able to look at yourself with a bit of humility and not think that you're the greatest thing in the world, because you have to understand that what we're dealing with now, everybody thinks they're the greatest thing in the world. That's why everybody got a fucking podcast. Everybody got a show. I remember when I first started, niggas was telling me, this ain't no show, nigga, you on YouTube. And the same people who told me this ain't no show, right here trying to get them a show.
Trying to be on YouTube because YouTube is TV. Dun, 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 dun. So anyway.
Yeah. So you were talking about a thing that is a very difficult thing, and it's getting more and more difficult. I think when the machines take over, that's when we're going to realize how much we need each other.
Definitely, because AI is not coming, it's here.
Yep.
People just have not seen the realization. Y'all still playing with ChatGPT, and AI has already taken most entry-level jobs from so many different people. It's not a mistake that over the last few months, more than 100,000 Black women specifically have lost their jobs in different sectors. Yeah. When Kevin Samuel said winter was coming, this is what he was talking about. Thank you. Bishop says Soto Nation since 2013. Thank you. 24 Birds said Tommy, breaking news, Ninja theme was classic. I missed that.
I still do it. It's still over there on the website. It's still there, still breaking news.
So what also make it worse that my ex-wife, who was Black, saw me with the first white woman I ever dated. She got enraged that she not only insulted her, but called me a race traitor in the same way. So I have to ask, why is it that a Black man can't get a smile from Black women, but the snow bunnies and the Latinas are willing to be friendly to a Black man and even work with one?
That's why I like you, Crimson. You just been sitting here smiling. Like, you have not shown the sourpuss, like you said. What I love that when you said they already got a no in their mouth. That made, when you look at somebody, you can see, I don't even want to ask. That sucks. And I just want to ask you if I can get some honey to go with these biscuits at Popeyes, lady. But I'm scared to ask. I'll just go to Kroger and buy a little thing of honey with the little bear on it and squeeze him.
Buy that little cheap bear honey. They done mixed it with water and squirrel milk. And now I got to try to put it on a biscuit. Thank you, 2 cents at ouch. He's saying the quiet part out loud. Thank you. Jay Scott said, peace be with you, dear Kendra. Greetings, brother Tommy. Thank you. Ibn Sabil said, thank you, Kendra, for all that you do. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Quiet Faith, so I can see the back feet in the BT 2000s afraid today. Cure and Tommy is a powerful example of mature dialogue, not driven by disdain or contempt. I guarantee no one will be doing a reaction video of this. Thank you for that. I'm gonna shorten the applause. I'm gonna shorten the applauses because that applause is a little long. Thank you, Dr. Steele. So, Tommy, I may not agree with many of the things you say, but in your final thoughts today, you hit all the marks. Thank you, Omega said winning, and thank you so much.
Winning and thank you. Multiple thank you.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you, Leslie said OG's tracks were the bomb, i.e. rolling with the tech and D Jones. Thank you, the commenter. So they are the greatest weapon the white man has ever had against the black man and his children. Soto Nation since 2018. Thank you, Bread G. Sanford. So Tommy has been very consistent over the years, and I appreciate his stance. Honesty is the only thing that can redirect the paradigm of the community, and we are really proud of you both. Thank you, HVAC. I remember Tommy when I was a freshman in high school in 2013. HVAC is a young man, a young good brother. He always shows up here and gives support. So I appreciate HVAC, and I appreciate everyone who came in. From Tommy's channel, of course, my own channel, for all of you who contributed, and for those of you who are respectful in the chat, I appreciate you for showing up and for being respectful in the chat room. One more, Lewis said Isaiah 5:21 to them that call evil good and good evil. These are prophetic times, the end times, even worse is underway. Thank you so much. I want to appreciate everybody, and I appreciate you, Tommy, for giving us about almost an hour and a half of your time. I appreciate you. We may do this again if we feel like it. We think about it.
I enjoyed it. And the people who keep asking, you can find my stuff, just my name, TommySotomayor.com. You can find I've got all the old videos up there all the way back to 2012. So anything that you thought about, anything that you remember, it's all there. It's a wonderful website, and it's also all of the new things that are coming up and that are out. We do all kinds of wonderful stuff up on the website. Come and join us.
Okay. So you guys make sure to put his website back in the chat. Do that for me. Also, for those of you, go and get my book, Reclaiming the Black Feminine, The Lies of Feminism and the Road to Recovery. All you have to do is go to crimsoncure.com and make a purchase for the book. Very simple. And also I do coaching. So if you would like to book a session, you also would do that on crimsoncure.com. So with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. I want to thank everybody once again for coming through. Jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host of The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.